Religious beliefs about justice often center around the concept of responsibility, both to God and to fellow human beings. In many religious traditions, justice is seen as a divine mandate, where adherents are called to live in accordance with moral principles that reflect the character of the divine. This responsibility is not only individual but communal, meaning that each person is accountable for their actions and how they contribute to the well-being of society. For many believers, living justly involves following a set of laws or commandments that guide behavior, ensuring that justice is upheld in both personal and societal relationships. These religious laws are often seen as a way to maintain harmony and balance, reflecting a divine order that should be mirrored in human society. Law and justice are essential to most societies because they provide the framework within which people can coexist peacefully. Laws establish the rules of conduct that people must follow to ensure fairness, protect rights, and maintain order. Without a system of law and justice, societies would likely descend into chaos, as there would be no agreed-upon standards to regulate behavior or resolve disputes. Justice, as the equitable application of these laws, ensures that people are treated fairly and that wrongs are corrected. In many religious traditions, the concept of justice is closely tied to the idea of righteousness, where just actions are seen as those that align with divine will. This underscores the belief that justice is not merely a human construct but has a sacred dimension, which must be honored to maintain the moral fabric of society. The relationship between state law and religious law, particularly regarding crime or sin, can be complex. In many societies, state law is the legal framework that governs behavior and prescribes penalties for wrongdoing. Religious law, on the other hand, is a moral code that dictates how believers should live according to their faith. While state law deals with crimes, actions that are prohibited and punishable by the state, religious law often addresses sins, which are seen as offenses against divine commandments. In some cases, state law and religious law may overlap, especially in societies where religion plays a significant role in public life. However, conflicts can arise when the two systems have different definitions of what constitutes a crime or a sin, or when religious laws are more stringent than state laws. For believers, this can create a tension between their duty to obey the laws of the state and their responsibility to uphold the tenets of their faith. In Judaism, religious laws are known as mitzvot, which are commandments given by God to the Jewish people. There are 613 mitzvot in the Torah, covering all aspects of life, from ethical behavior and worship practices to dietary laws and civil regulations. These commandments are seen as a covenant between God and the Jewish people, a way of living that sanctifies everyday life and ensures justice and righteousness. Following the mitzvot is a way for Jews to fulfill their responsibilities to God and to one another, creating a just and holy community. The mitzvot are not just legal obligations but are also seen as a way to deepen one's relationship with God, as they provide a structure for living a life that is in harmony with divine will. Muslims, similarly, strive to follow Sharia, which is the Islamic legal and moral code derived from the Quran and the teachings of the Prophet Muhammad. Sharia encompasses all aspects of a Muslim's life, including religious practices, family matters, and business ethics. It is seen as a comprehensive guide to living a just and righteous life according to the will of God. For Muslims, following Sharia is a way to ensure that their actions are in line with their faith and that they are fulfilling their responsibilities to God and society. Sharia is not just a set of laws but a way of life that promotes justice, compassion, and community welfare. However, the application of Sharia can vary widely, depending on cultural and historical contexts, and it can sometimes come into conflict with state laws in secular societies. Despite these challenges, many Muslims see Sharia as essential to living a life that is pleasing to God and just in the eyes of their faith. In conclusion, the concepts of law and justice in religious education highlight the importance of responsibility in maintaining a just society. Religious laws, whether they are mitzvot in Judaism or Sharia in Islam, provide a moral and legal framework that guides believers in their pursuit of justice. These laws reflect a deep commitment to living in accordance with divine principles, which are seen as essential to the well-being of individuals and communities. While there can be tensions between religious law and state law, particularly in multicultural societies, the underlying belief in justice as a reflection of divine will remains a central tenet of many religious traditions.